so let's jump into the competition, and can be a great source for looking at content ideas, what's working, what isn't, and giving you some inspiration on what are those videos and what does your audience want to hear more about. So going back to kind of the picky eaters example and bringing up some of the search results here, I would just notice another tool called vidIQ. What this does is just, kind of puts for each video, just gives you a little bit more stats on the right hand side, but more importantly, just kind of puts the subscriber numbers next to each number, so you have a good idea of what's going on relative to some of the views, and I'll go into that in a little bit in a bit. One of the things that I mentioned before is taking a look at, especially the videos at the top of the search results, like how much, what's the length of the video. So one of the things that kind of sticks out for this search is not every video falls into it, but for the most part, each video is somewhere in the range of 2 to 4 minutes. And that just gives you an indication. Again, YouTube is giving you an indication of what the audience, what the length of your video should be if you're creating a video around picky eaters. So always take a look at those videos at the top and kind of all the way down the search results. Like, is there a common denominator in terms of how long these videos are? They tend to be a little bit longer. They tend to be shorter. Not all videos have to be super long to increase the watch time. Certain audiences just want a few good ideas and move on from there. And this is kind of just an example of that. So if I'm going to create a new video around picky eaters, I'm going to try and stay within that 2 to 4 minutes. That's probably going to increase my likelihood of being further up in the search results if I can improve some of those other qualities like my thumbnail, my title, all those kind of things as well. You can see from the top video here, helping picky eaters, there's a lot of potential for you to create a video that has a better title than that. So there's always those opportunities to kind of take a look at videos and seeing what the competition is and seeing where you can make improvements and hopefully get to the top of the search results pretty quickly. The other thing to look at in using vidIQ is just the number of views relative to their subscriber base. So this will give you a good indication of what is really working well. What are those kind of videos that really stood out? So I'll give you an example here. This video is a little bit old, but you can kind of see that the number of views, 70K, versus the subscriber base of around 35K, just gives you an indication that this is a video that has not just viewed by the subscribers, but got some momentum to it as well. As you go through the list, there's a few others, like 6K versus 2K that's about 10 years old in a lot of those videos as well. I think one of the things that you do realize as well as you go through some of these search results is a lot of these videos are really old. And as you create new videos, the good thing about YouTube is it always gives preference, all things being equal, to that more recent video. So again, if you find search results where there's a lot of old videos in there, that offers the potential for you to get closer and higher up in those search results, because YouTube has a presence for that. And obviously you have to look at things like the thumbnail, the title. If you can go through those factors that we covered in the prior video, but also make more recent videos on titles, you're more likely to get to the top of the search results. And again, that's really important to getting more views and subscribers. The other thing that I was going to point out is in looking at, so there's two ways to get, views and subscribers and kind of getting that momentum in that way. Number one is kind of building videos around and video content around certain search results. So, I would create, in this example, creating a video with using picky eaters as the keyword and kind of extending out, creating a broader title that, brings it through. So this just would be an example right here, kind of lengthening out the title. And by doing that, it gives you the ability to be in a little bit more competitive spaces. So I'll show you this in a second, but using a tool called TubeBuddy, you can see how many other videos are within that space. So for picky eaters, as an example, there's millions of videos within that title. But if you expand out and go use that keyword as part of your longer title, that's where you can be a little bit more. You can show up in some of those search results, which are a little less competitive, but you can be further up. So that really gets back to kind of building your authority. So as you're getting closer and higher up in those positions, maybe in those broader search result titles that might not have as many videos as part of them, you're going to show to YouTube that you're getting momentum. And as you get more momentum and higher up in some of those broader categories that might not have as much competition, it's going to signal to YouTube that you can start be more competitive in these longer ones here, like picky eaters. Or I'll give you another example. One of my clients had a video under the search results of chicken. So chicken, is searched about 1.5 million times a month by the users on YouTube. Shows you just the amount of interest that it has there. But she had to kind of create a wide variety, about 12 or 15 different chicken videos, and they had to perform pretty well in broader categories before YouTube was willing to kind of put her video in that that very searched title, because again, it's all about building that authority. YouTube wants to see as it brings your video up and makes it more competitive and puts into some of those more searched terms. That you've kind of established your authority, you're seeing momentum on things, and you're not just creating one video and hoping for the best. So again, kind of think about as you kind of create videos around topics, it's all about kind of the building blocks and kind of proving to YouTube that you have the authority around certain subjects. And as you do that, that will feed in and get you to some videos that have more views, more subscribers, and they will really serve as kind of the pillars of your viral channel. If you can get a few of those around certain topics, it goes along the way. So the other thing that I was going to mention, so that's search results. So making sure that your videos are really aligned with what people are searching for. The other thing is looking at suggested videos. And the way to really look at that is opening up an incognito window. The reason we do incognito is so that your suggested videos aren't impacted by what you had looked at in the past. So if I just go up to the first video here, and I'll just take a look at the suggested videos. So you can see there's a few videos that were part of that picky eater search results, but there's a wide variety of other videos that weren't seen in there. And what YouTube is trying to do in the suggested videos is try and guess what are some of those other titles that if somebody watched this video, what would they want to watch next? So, by getting into the suggested, videos, kind of list here, gives you the ability to kind of tie yourself to some of those more popular videos and get some more momentum along the way. So again, if you look along this list here, it's a great way to kind of look at what video titles might you create a video around. What are some of those keywords? What are some of the longer tail titles that you might be able to use? Again, looking at some of the the titles here that are pretty old, but you can see the amount of views that they're able to get. If you can use some of those titles as well for your video, it's a great way to do it. Again, newer videos using the same title will tend to get preference, all things being equal. So use those things, again, on the suggested side, but also the search side to get your channel a little bit more momentum, a little bit more momentum from a video perspective as well. All those things can lead to getting more views, subscribers, and getting your channel higher placement across all videos.